The ASA Quick Trip Midwest Tour, presented by Echo Outdoor Power Equipment, rolls into Hawkeye Downs Speedway. We're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa for the Keith Fleck Miller 100. Dan Fredrickson dominated the last race at Sauk Center, Minnesota, and comes in as the series point leader.
To win the points, you kind of have to have that in the back of your mind a little bit all the time. Race wins is really what I like, but certainly different aspects this year, being I'm leading the points, as where last year I had a few DNFs right away and I didn't care about the points.
Travel is a fact of life on the ASA Midwest Tour, and many of the drivers competing here in Cedar Rapids have traveled through areas that were flooded completely underwater only weeks ago. This rescheduled racing event is an attempt to help some of the many people still in need.
We're talking well over $1 billion just in Cedar Rapids alone to get us back to where we were. You know, that's not, doesn't really take into account the emotional toll, but the need is far-ranging, from food to buildings to temporary housing.
It was a terrible thing that happened here. I didn't see it. I mean, I saw video of it, and we were sitting at home ready to go to the racetrack, and all that happened. And you hate to see it. I know it happens around the world, but I mean, it hits close to home when it's at a racetrack or at a race town.
And I got a lot of friends that have been affected, friends and some family members that have been affected by this, you know, by the flood. And it'd be cool maybe to, you know, a lot of people come to this race that don't really come to the races very much. So I'm sure there'll be some people in the stands that aren't normally out here. So it'd be cool to, you know, make some people happy and give them something else to think about for one night at least.
Necedah, Wisconsin's Johnny Sauter will set fast qualifying time for the second time in the last 3 tour stops. 16 drivers make it into the feature through time trials. The rest have to race their way in. We'll pick up the action in the first of 2 qualifying races. The top 3 from each make the main event. In the first, that's race promoter Dudley Fleck battling to make the show. And the former Artgo Series star will get past Minnesota's Nick Mergic for the 3rd spot. Coming to the finish, it's tour regulars Brandon Hill out of Wisconsin and Jonathan Island from Minnesota, 1st and 2nd ahead of Fleck. Brandon Hill hoping a tough season is turning around.
Well, it's huge. We've been struggling all year with trying some different stuff on the car, and after I-94 we took the car somewhere and had a guy go through it, and he found a few things wrong with some of the suspension pieces and roll center, so we fixed it all and we came here, and we ran pretty good in practice. We just didn't pick up as much as we needed to qualify in time.
In the second qualifier, it's tour regular Chris Kelly out front in the 77. The battle for 2nd and 3rd is between Wisconsin veteran Don Thunder Turner in the 7, tour regular Brian Roach out of Minnesota, and local racer Brad Osborne in the 00. Osborne and Chris Wimmer will fight down to the line, but neither will transfer. Kelly, Turner, and Roach are in.
Yeah, if we can, race all 100 laps and keep the fenders on her and finish on the lead lap, we'll see where the cards fall and see what position we can end up towards the end. Hopefully, we can make our way, top 15, top 10 would be great.
Championship points are at stake in a pair of heat races for the drivers who qualified for the feature on time. In the first, it's Johnny Spaw, the 8-time Hawkeye Downs track champion, wheel-to-wheel with tour regular Russ Blakely in the 22. Donnie Reavers in the 41 and Steve Carlson in the 66 battled down to the wire for the feature win at Wisconsin Dells earlier this season. Now they're chasing Spaw. This local standout is looking to give Cedar Rapids something to cheer about, and he'll get the job done.
Pretty cool, because usually their donations go to some other charities, but this is a pretty important one to try and help people out, in Cedar Rapids, because there's a lot of people right now, they're living, don't have places to live, and they're never going to get to go back to their house or their business. So this could be a really good deal for the town of Cedar Rapids, and hopefully we can raise some money.
In the second heat, there are a lot of hard chargers in the mix. 36 Dan Fredrickson, 21 Tim Schendel, Jamie Iverson in the 97, and the 43 of Johnny Sauter. But none of these drivers will catch Freedom Wisconsin's Kyle Kalmus. He took a fast heat at Sauk Center, Minnesota, and makes it 2 in a row at Hawkeye Downs.
When it happens twice for you, it just shows you that you can do it. You didn't just get lucky at one track. You can go to 2 different tracks and do it again. It really helps.
One way to measure the quality of a racing series is to see how hard it is to qualify for the feature event. This 20-lap last chance race will send 2 drivers into the show. It's Frank Cryer out of Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin in the bright pink 99, and Wausau, Wisconsin's Chris Wimmer in the black 52. Behind the leaders is a pair of local drivers, Brad Osborne in the 00 and Thor Anderson in the 4-car. Anderson's coming on, but there's contact on the backstretch. Both Anderson and Osborne are in the wall. The drivers are okay, but the cars are not. Back under green flag racing, and it's Cryer and Wimmer coming down to the line. Both transfer to the feature ahead of Rich Locke in the 3rd spot.
Like, I've been running these qualifiers every week, trying to get into shows that way, and like this track again, here we are, new track and stuff, but I mean, we'll get it. I mean, it's fighting our way in. It was fun racing with Chris Wimmer, and a good friend of mine, and it was kind of fun racing them.
The field is set for the Keith Fleck Miller 100, and we'll have the highlights coming up next.
Lawn maintenance professionals around the world have relied on Skag mowers for more than 20 years. Now you too can have the same quality and reliability the professionals count on for your lawn. The new Skag Freedom Z can cut your mowing time in half and give your lawn that beautiful professional cut appearance. Skag mowers, proudly made in the USA.
At every Midwest Tour event, fans are encouraged to meet their favorite drivers in free autograph sessions. A fan-friendly environment is important at every stop on the Midwest Tour, but here in Cedar Rapids, where so many have lost so much, it's especially meaningful.
We give $3 a ticket, for instance, to flood relief, and we got a big raffle giving away a car tonight for flood relief. So, but what originally turned out to be somewhat of a negative, I think we can really turn into a positive if we get a good crowd tonight.
It's an awesome cause. You know, we went through and saw a lot of the devastation with the community, and the tours, you know, ASA Midwest Tour is proud to be part of it.
Fans here have waited an extra 6 weeks to see the 2008 Keith Fleck Miller 100. That wait is just about over. Local driver Brad Dvorak brings the field to green, and we're underway. It's Dvorak leading, but watch Mark Kraus in the black 9 car. Kraus out of Stratford, Wisconsin will make it stick on the outside, and he'll take the early lead. This central Wisconsin racer got his start on dirt, but he spent nearly a decade on the asphalt with a number of years in various touring series. Mark Kraus leads, with fellow Wisconsin driver Blake Horstman second in the blue 75. Behind the leaders, that's Steve Carlson in the 66, passing Andrew Morrissey's 39 car. Kraus leads, with Dan Fredrickson passing Horstman for second, and Donnie Reavers now in 4th. Can Kraus hold off Fredrickson, the point leader, who lapped nearly the entire field at Sauk Center? Reavers out of Dundas, Minnesota, won back-to-back races this season. Trouble for Minnesota driver Brian Roach in the 99, but no caution. Here's the scrap. Tim Schendel in the 21, Jamie Iverson's 97, the 5 of Travis Sauter, defending Tour champ Nathan Hosley, and young Kyle Kalmus. Ahead of this battle, Steve Carlson is up to 3rd with fast qualifier Johnny Sauter in 4th. Mark Kraus still leads. He's led for more than 25 laps. Carlson, who's running weekly here at Hawkeye Downs, gets past Fredrickson for 2nd. Can Mark Kraus hold off Steve Carlson, the multi-time Touring Series champion out of West Salem, Wisconsin? Johnny Sauter is on the move, past Fredrickson for 3rd. Up front, Steve Carlson puts the heat on Kraus. There's contact, and it's Steve Carlson taking the lead. Johnny Sauter moves up to 2nd. Steve Carlson won this race 1 year ago and is looking like a good bet to go back-to-back. Johnny Sauter set fast time. He's fighting through the lap traffic, trying to get up to the leader. Trouble, a crash on the front stretch. Dudley Fleck's torn up. Johnny Spaw is tangled up with Brandon Hill's 34 car. Elko Tour winner Jake Ryan's 19 is also involved. After the restart, Johnny Sauter will stand on the gas, trying to catch the leader, but Steve Carlson is in a league of his own tonight. The veteran out of western Wisconsin is right at home at Hawkeye Downs, winning the Keith Fleck Miller 100.
This car drove perfect tonight. We, after our heat race, we kind of tightened it up a little bit. We were a little bit free earlier, and it started out the race just a little bit tight, but it just came to me so good. You know, by the end of the race, it was perfect.
The ASA Quick Trip Midwest Tour is presented by Echo Outdoor Power Equipment. Special thanks to Skag Power Equipment, Hype Energy Drink, and Pony Express Motor Coaches. I'm Bill Holland with your Midwest Tour online update. Next tour stop, July 20th, Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. The Rasmussen Group Twin 75s.